According to Dr. Razavi and Dr. Safavineni from the Department of Cardiology at the Texas Heart Institute, the prevalence of POTS is around 0.2% of the general population. I personally have a family member with POTS. It's my aunt. She has 5 kids and she has never given up. I think that not many people know what POTS is, and I would like to help educate you on it and also bring awareness to it. Through getting my aunt's diagnosis of POTS, she gained a lot of knowledge, which she has shared with me. And I have also done a lot of research on POTS to try and understand how it affects her. Today, I'm going to be telling you about what POTS is, what it's like living with POTS, and the different treatment options for POTS. We're going to go over what POTS is first. So, POTS is an acronym for Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome. According to the Cleveland Clinic, POTS is a condition that affects circulation, which is blood flow. It involves the autonomic nervous system, which automatically controls and regulates body functions. It affects the sympathetic nervous system, which activates the fight or flight response. According to Dr. Azavi and Dr. Safavineni from the Department of Cardiology at the Texas Heart Institute, some common symptoms that occur with standing are lightheadedness, palpitations, generalized weakness, blurred vision, exercise intolerance, and fatigue. They also said that there is an increased heart rate of 30 beats per minute when someone with POTS goes from a reclining or lying down position to a standing position. As I said before, according to Dr. Razavi and Dr. Safavineni from the Department of Cardiology at the Texas Heart Institute, the prevalence of POTS is around 0.2% of the general population. About 500,000 to 1 million people in the United States has this disease. POTS can affect both men and women, but 75 to 80% are female, and most patients are between 15 and 25 years old. Next, I'll be telling you about what it's like to live with POTS. Living with POTS can be very hard on a person. Their quality of life is significantly decreased. According to Toby Flack and Jamie Fulton from the British Journal of Cardiology, patients communicate a drop from 7.5 to 3.75 on a 10-point scale. Living with POTS is really hard because it's an endless feeling of being tired. There's a theory called the spoon theory, and it explains to people without a chronic illness what it's like to live with a chronic illness. I'm going to share a picture with you. So you essentially only have 12 spoons per day, and every activity that you do is a certain number of spoons. So if you get out of bed and then get dressed, that's 2 spoons of your 12 spoons. And then if you want to make a meal and eat, that's 3 more spoons. And if you do that if you make a meal and eat 3 times a day, you're using 9 spoons and you only have 12 to start with. So that just gives people without a chronic illness a glimpse into what it's like to live with a chronic illness. My aunt has had POTS for about 6 years now, and she said that when she first got diagnosed, her body was still strong, but as the years have gone by, her muscles and her legs have started to atrophy because she is unable to exercise. This makes basic tasks difficult to do, such as showering, cooking, walking, and even standing. If she overworks her body, she will become physically ill. She will have a fever and be vomiting. Overworking herself could mean she took a shower, went to the grocery store, cooked dinner, and then washed dishes. And if after she does all those things in one day, she could be physically ill because she overworked her body. All of those things seem like a basic task to a healthy person, but it's just not so for someone with POTS. Next, I'm going to be telling you about what some of the different treatment options for POTS are. So there's no cure for POTS. There's nothing that will make it magically go away, but there are a couple of different treatment options that can improve the patient's quality of life. There are some treatment options that don't involve any prescription drugs. For example, according to Dr. Mustafa from myheart.net, the big 7 are exercise, increased fluid intake, more salt, compression devices, muscle tensing, diet, and routine changes. And when it says routine changes, what they mean is like they should be scheduling things more in the afternoon or evening rather than in the morning, so that their body has time to wake up before they start making it do things. There are also some prescription drug options. Um, for example, according to Dr. Mustafa from myheart.net, beta blockers are an option for people with POTS. Beta blockers are basically a drug that primarily reduces the heart rate, which is important for someone with POTS because when they go from that reclined position to an upright position, their heart rate goes up at least 30 beats per minute. Another option is fludrocortisone, which is a synthetic type of steroid that can cause the body to retain salt and therefore water. Basically, it can be used in POTS because it increases circulation volume and therefore alleviates some of the symptoms of POTS and improves the body's response to standing. Those are a couple of options, but the trick is matching the right treatment to the right case of POTS. Because every case of POTS is so different, it's hard to find the right treatment for each person. So now that you know the different treatment options, I'm going to go over what I told you about one more time. So today I talked about what POTS is, what it's like to live with POTS, and the different treatment options for POTS. Thank you for listening, and I hope that this helped you better understand what POTS is.